Hey, you listen to Wrestling Roundup on FreeFM 89.0. This is Grady Hooker, episode 145, and live on Skype as always, we got Josh.
Hey.
So I hope everybody had a happy holidays and everything in between that and now. And if you're in New Zealand, Happy New Year. It's 2016. And if you're in America, just wait a little bit and it'll be 2016. So we'll start off with Raw, as always. But coming out of Raw, news is broken that Sin Cara has buggered his shoulder.
A dislocated shoulder. Not nearly as serious as we might have thought.
Yeah. It seems as though it's coming just on the heels as well of a Lucha Dragons push, you might say. They were definitely being featured more. They were in the big matches, and they had 2 singles matches against the New Day. So if I was a betting man, if there was going to be a tag title match at Royal Rumble, I would have given it to the Lucha Dragons.
Yeah. I don't know what the plans will be. I definitely, though, hope that at the very least that we eventually get a Callisto push as a solo. Because I think he can definitely capture the market that WWE is hoping that can be captured with the loss of Ray.
Yeah. So this could either be a really bad thing and they keep both of the Lucha Dragons off TV for a little while until Sin Cara is ready to come back and they both go back out, or it's a really great thing in disguise and Kalisto gets his singles run and starts to become slightly more prominent in the singles roster while we wait for Sin Cara to come back.
Yeah.
But of course everyone's pointing out the curse of the mask. Whoever seems to wear it or portray the Sin Cara character seems to get injured a lot.
In this case, he at least finished the match.
Yeah. I've seen nothing
the original injured a finger and quit the match.
I've seen nothing but props for Hunico Sin Cara to be finishing the match with a screwed up shoulder. And for Big E as well, for being able to adapt. Also, we got the news that The Rock will be at WrestleMania 32.
Yeah, which probably changes storylines that we were expecting going into WrestleMania.
From what I've heard, it will not be in a wrestling state, in terms of he will not step into the ring to fight. But whether he's in the corner or anything like
that. I believe he will wrestle. I think it'll be Triple H that'll wrestle. And we'll know that for sure if, say, at the Royal Rumble, Roman Reigns faces Triple H for the championship.
Now, I don't know for sure, it's all hearsay, it's what you hear on the internet, but from what I heard, there was a large amount of people who were annoyed during the Furious 6 media trail because The Rock injured his groin at his WrestleMania match and had to miss a bunch of media dates for that. So now the contract he's in with Paramount, they would not allow him to wrestle so he does not injure himself, so he does not screw up the media for their next big release, is the sort of thing that's going around at the moment. Whether it's true or not, 2 people know that's Paramount and The Rock, but it is being said.
I definitely know that there are a lot of nervous ones when he was wrestling with Cena. I definitely know one thing. If he was going to face Brock, I think everybody would put a bunch of insurance policies on The Rock then, because that would be very dangerous.
I guess it's going to come down to a wait and see in terms of the build up for WrestleMania, but I guess they have had these big stars with injuries, and they have had to cycle through and start either developing the younger talent or bringing back people who you know will get buys for the pay-per-view. But I believe, didn't we work it out, it was like the 6th straight WrestleMania The Rock's been at?
I believe so.
Hosted 27, wrestled Cena at 28, wrestled Cena at 29, opening segment at 30, and popped up with Ronda Rousey at 31. And then 32 this coming year, 2016. We also got a return in a way, everyone's dubbing it a return, and the announcement of the first competitor into the Royal Rumble match for 2016. Let me interrupt your snoring there and just point out, we also got a Heath Slater segment.
Yeah, that whole segment was stolen by R-Truth.
I'm really hoping just by being in the segment that everybody there is in the Rumble. Not for sure, but...
it was definitely just hype the Royal Rumble.
And if you didn't see it, I think it's on WWE.com and their YouTube page. They did an interview with Heath Slater, and they revealed that he was the 8th most voted for person in Superstar of the Year. For the
when this whole thing was going out and he came out, because I wasn't watching Raw, I was just following a discussion because I was watching a football game. Then I watched Raw on my DVR later on. I made a joke. He was number 8.
Yeah, it comes down to, I guess, letting the fans vote for anything. He'll come out, but it does show you that he's got quite a bit of popularity. I believe he got a bigger reaction than most of the people did in that segment. And we also got a bit of Zack Ryder there as well.
Boo.
And a bit of Goldust. And a bit of a tease for Ryback Big Show as a feud.
Yeah. I love Ryback, but man, that's not a feud I want to see again.
I think that's the operative word, again. Been and done, goodbye, go away. Okay, so we're going to go into our classic entrance theme. It is Evolution's Line in the Sand. And you're back with Wrestling Roundup on FreeFM 89.0, Grady and Josh. So Mr. McMahon got arrested.
Yeah, we've seen the whole superstar getting arrested thing before, but I don't remember ever seeing Vince McMahon get arrested.
Well, he takes a pretty bad mugshot as well.
Yeah, that was hilarious. And you know that'll be slapped on a bunch of memes.
Yep.
But yeah, it was an amazing segment. And it also goes to show that what I've said about the Brooklyn crowd for last 4 years is true, because they're in business for themselves. They don't care.
Yeah.
Because they started chanting for Daniel Bryan and CM Punk. Well, this really good segment was going on.
Yeah.
And then they really showed their colors during the Divas match. When they were booing the match.
It's just one of those crowds. It's very hard to sort of nail it down to any specific thing. It's probably just a large contingent of people, and then, you know, it's chanting, so everybody jumps on the bandwagon.
That's what that crowd has done ever since our friend Brando and his crew in the night after WrestleMania made that huge splash with the hijacking of Raw that night.
That means we can say we started that.
All New York, New Jersey's of crowds have tried to duplicate ever since.
Well, we didn't get Enzo and Cass.
No.
We might need to now that the Lucha Dragons are... or one of them's injured.
Possibly, who knows? I was perfectly okay with it. I mean, they may still need them for NXT for a little bit to do their next tapings. But it is what it is.
Enzo and Cass are a great team, and I guess they will be called up when they're needed to be called up. And they're great down in NXT right now. It is a little, fishy that they didn't get the NXT tag titles, which I think signaled to a lot of people that it might be time. But you don't know it's time until it's time.
Yeah, it's just a wait and see thing. I think seriously, they're waiting on Carmella to get a little bit more seasoned, and I think that may be what they're waiting on. Because when they bring up Enzo and Cass, they're bringing Carmella with her.
Yeah.
And they may even want to do a Bayley Carmella match for a takeover or something before calling Carmella up.
Well, switching gears to the main event, or upper in the card, we definitely seem to be aligning against the League of Nations, and John Cena returned to face Alberto Del Rio, not in pants.
No, and Cena did what Cena does best. He goaded his opponent into giving him something he wanted.
Yeah. John Cena is the best of that. But, what's going to happen? With the Royal Rumble hit, it's always hard to figure out if they are going to put a bunch of title matches on, or if they're going to put a bunch of non-big matches and then just put the guys who would be in the title into the Rumble, whether they'll make them do double duty. It's very hard to figure out exactly what type of matches they're going to try and book for the Royal Rumble.
Especially when they've had to pretty much blow up all their plans over the last month, at least once, possibly even a second time.
Yeah. And whether you've got the surprises coming back or anything like that, it's always going to be one of those things that people are not exactly going to know until it happens. You could say it adds to the unpredictability of the event, but it also adds to the chaos of the build to the event. Which I haven't determined yet whether that is a good thing or a bad thing. But either way, it looks like John Cena for the foreseeable future is going to be feuding with the League of Nations.
Yeah, and they kind of teased after the show was over for the live crowd, Reigns and Cena.
That was an interesting moment for me. The two just having... All it was like a simple stare down.
Yeah, it was just a simple stare down. And I think Roman at one point may have posed with the championship. I don't really know, but I do know they had a stare down, and then they had to fend themselves off against the League of Nations, minus Wade Barrett, who was in a match earlier, but somehow disappeared when it was time to do the beatdowns at the end.
He's smart.
I'm beginning to wonder if he's not a ghost. He just appears when you least expect him to.
He's on secret undercover missions, okay?
He's training to be the next James Bond.
Yep. So, we'll go into our current entrance theme. It's sort of current. It's Triple H's King of Kings, and if you don't know why we've played both of these themes Motorhead's lead singer Lemmy has passed away, and he was quite a big figure in some of the entrance themes, especially Triple H's. So we thought we'd play some double Triple H and some double Motorhead themes.
On your knees, dog.
And you're back with Wrestling Roundup on FreeFM 89.0. Grady, Hooker, and Josh. So we've got a little bit left. We got to fill up Neville with the Slammy Award. Means that Owens had to have a quick match with him to blow that off. But then they went pretty much straight back to building Ambrose Owens.
Yeah, but I'm not sure. At least, at the very least, Neville picks up the Slammy when nobody expected it. Then beats Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
Then got a beat down, which he's never seen before, at least for himself.
Yeah.
It kind of does put Neville somewhere on like the periphery of the Ambrose Owens feud.
Just add Ziggler and call it a Fatal 4.
Doing like a triple threat match at Royal Rumble.
Yeah. Just add Ziggler and call it a Fatal 4.
This is my thoughts. I think they took the Intercontinental title off of Kevin Owens for a very specific reason.
Dun, dun, dun.
I think they are going to put him as the Royal Rumble winner.
What?
And have him face Roman Reigns in one of Roman Reigns' 2 title matches at WrestleMania. Assuming The Rock doesn't wrestle.
That is crazy. Yeah, I could see it happening. Owens is one of... There's like, you know, every single Royal Rumble is like 3 guys that you could see winning, and Owens is there. He's proven many times before that he can go in the main event scene. Him Reigns would be a good match, and there's no reason he shouldn't be holding the WWE World Heavyweight title, even though he probably won't win. And by probably, I mean most likely. And it's also a great little, you know, thing to write down on his career book that he won a Royal Rumble.
Especially in his first Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
I think Brock Lesnar's the only other person that's been able to say that.
Well, I guess technically the very first winner of the Royal Rumble, because there was no other ones before it.
Well, Jim Duggan.
But I guess that's cheating.
Yeah, it is kind of is, because there was nothing on the line other than the Royal Rumble winner until 1992.
We'll say in recent history.
I get. Let's see here.
I know John Cena and Batista don't count.
No.
Alberto Del Rio doesn't.
Maybe Yokozuna? I'm not sure. Yoko might have won in his first Royal Rumble.
There's the thing I like about the Royal Rumble. There's just so many stats, figures, numbers, and things. Have they released the Royal Rumble by the numbers yet? I don't think they have.
Not yet.
It's shaking.
Heck, they just started the hype for the event.
I don't care. I need that video. But yeah, I'd say Owens is up there. I think, and a lot of names that other people are throwing around include Brock Lesnar, and of course the classic internet name of Daniel Bryan. I think the exact sort of scenario that people were throwing around was Daniel Bryan comes out like 29, everybody's cheering him, and then Brock Lesnar comes out 30 and eliminates him to cement Brock Lesnar as the heel for that night when he wins.
Yeah, but
That's just a scenario.
it depends on what they want to do. But I believe I've seen it several times Brock is not going to face Roman at Royal Rumble, at WrestleMania.
Don't ruin my dreams.
What I have read, Brock Lesnar is going to go after Bray Wyatt. Not Bray Wyatt go after him. The other way around.
My dreams. You're crushing them.
He's going to go after him and his family.
Okay.
Unlike the normal storyline, in which Bray Wyatt goes after somebody and then loses.
Yeah.
He's going to have somebody come after him and then lose.
Interesting. More importantly, who's going to face The Undertaker?
I heard John Cena.
Yeah, everyone's hearing John Cena.
Other than that, I've heard nobody else as a potential person for The Undertaker. Some people want Cena versus Reigns at the WrestleMania 32. I think, one, it's a little too early for it. Second, I don't like either scenario in which would require that match to occur.
Yeah.
The first scenario is Cena wins his third Royal Rumble match. The other one is Reigns loses the championship.
Yeah. No, thank you.
I don't like either option. They're not best for business.
I know when WWE.com put up an article like 5 things they want the Rock to do at WrestleMania 32, one of them was face The Undertaker. So I can count that as another name I've heard.
Yeah, but they've done that a lot of things on that like that.
Yeah.
That never amounted to anything.
Okay, well, we're out of time for this week. It's been great talking to you.
Bye-bye.
You can visit our Facebook page, facebook.com/Wrestling Roundup Radio, our Twitter page, twitter.com/Wrestling R Radio. I'll see you next week.